Okay, hello. This is confessional number 14 for SurvivORG. To make a long story short, I'm shook. The last vote was so much fun. It was the first time a vote went my way, but at the same time, it was the first time that I had to vote someone out that I previously had a relationship with. So that's kind of interesting. Well, I suppose I had a relationship with Brie, but with Beck, it just goes a lot further. So to compare the two eliminations, Brie, it was unanimous. Beck, there was some pushback to it, and so it felt like a more significant vote. Anyway, so at the start of the episode, I voice chatted to Zeke, which was very productive and gave me a whole lot of promise. I was like, oh my god, fantastic. And I realized the position in the tribe that I was in after talking to Zeke because I just needed a wake up call. There's the bit for the confessional. But yeah, I just needed a wake up call. I need someone to slap it out of me and to, really cement in my mind that I need to play better or I will be gone. And so that's what exactly happened. And I'm very pleased it did because he really proved a whole lot of things for me that were loose ends. Now I know who voted for who at every single tribal council. Now I know where idols are. I've known about the OG Fei Long dynamics, which was a really interesting thing to find out about too. So all of that combined has formed into me really trusting Zeke right now. It's good because this is the first time in honestly, actually, no. Every single person that has gone home, Miles has never been my number one, but Lacey, Mushu, Bree, and Beck were all my number ones at one point. So for all four of them to go out real quick, one after another, especially consecutively, it's almost a mark on my resume at this point because, I would honestly never think that I could just run through number ones like that. I really chewed them up, spit them out, and found a new one. Reduce, reuse, recycle, as they say. And so, yeah, it's not been the optimal way to play, but as a result, all of my number ones indeed have been going home. Anyway, yes, I had that call with Zeke. It really proved to me that I am living. I'm just in this game, in this org. I am the embodiment of delusion. But I guess I played myself when I outed the Jean Hose Alliance on day whatever, like 7, 6. And as a result, I've been on the bottom ever since. But honestly, I've been overplaying probably even before that moment. So whatever. The fact that I'm still here is astonishing and astounding, and I love it. I'm having such a good time. And the fact that I've made it to this point means, this is one of my favorite parts, it means that I have not worsened my average, which is really exciting too, because I've played 3 ilgs before. I came second in the first one, I came 8th in the second one, and 6th in the third. And so the fact that I'm going to at least make 8th place, I don't think I'm going to be eliminated next, but I've at least made 8th place, and so that's really cool. And that makes me really happy because for the first time in this game, I see a future. As a result of this Beck vote, there is now a new majority, which is Yorley, Jello, Zeke, me, and Manly. And I'm not surprised that this coalition came about either. At the start of the last episode, I outlined how the tribe was split into 3 trios. There was loyalists of the Yellow Tribe, Jean Hu, Beck, Chi Chi, and Yorley. They were a threesome. There is Manly, Matt, and Exis, who are the middle ground people. And then there's Jello, Zeke, and myself. Nope. Yes, Jello, Zeke, and myself. We were all the people that voted incorrectly when Mushu went home. And so there's those 3 coalitions, right? But within those groups, Yorley is on the outside of Beck and Chi Chi, Manly is on the outside of Matt and Exis, whereas Jello, Zeke, and I are perhaps the most separate trio, I think, or at least we are the trio that has the lowest combined threat level. And so Yorley and Manly, being 2 people that want to keep their options open, naturally it was the moment where they flipped to join us as a threesome. So 5-4, Beck went home. And I was so shook. I was sitting on the bus today. My phone was on 1% because I joined the music chat so I could hear tribal council music, which was the first time I'd ever listened to tribal council music during a tribal, which was fun. it really, like, it set a scene. Like, oh, it set a scene. And so I only had 1% charge, but I saw that there were so many bloody people in that like video voice chat, whatever you want to call it. Obviously not video. In that voice call, the audio room, chat room, VC, in the VC. There were so many people in it that I figured that something was up. When Beck didn't play his idol, I also shat my pants. I was astounded in the best way. I had a feeling he had something. It was going to be either him or Chi-Chi, although I've heard whisperings that Vupa was eliminated with an idol, but honestly, I don't think he was, or at least in my mind, I would hope that Vupa would use it correctly, because you'd think that Vupa, Miles, and Lacey could then, come together if Vupa had been like, oh, I have an idol, They could have, like, worked something out and then at least made a rock draw if it was 3-3 with OG tribe numbers next time. And I think at that point then that OG Fei Long would have broken on that tribe, and then maybe we would have seen Vupa, Miles, and Lacey in the merge. But anyway, all of that aside, I was shook to see Beck eliminated 5-4. It likened, in my mind, I liken it to when Kelly Wentworth was eliminated in Edge of Extinction 5-4. The reason that Beck went home was because for the last few days, there has been murmurings around who is the biggest threat, and Beck, Chi-Chi, Exus in particular. I would say that Beck and Exus are the bigger threats on these trios, and then you've got Chi-Chi and Matt as the next biggest threats, and then Manly and Yawley are the ones that flipped. So that's the outline of the tribe, but the reason Beck went home was because Matt and Zeke were discussing voting out Beck. I've discussed voting out Beck with Jello, with Manly, with Yawley in brief, like, contexts, and kind of vaguely, because Yawley and I are both OG Zhan Hu, so it's kind of, a turbulent ride for us to be talking about eliminating our former tribe members. But anyway, the plan came together after like 2 or 3 days of constant talks, whereas I think the plan to get rid of Zeke happened a bit too quickly. I'm very pleased that this tribal council that's just been the one that sent Beck home was not the whirlwind, chaotic tribal council where for the last 20 minutes before votes are locked or due, that everyone's in a big hex storm and it's just a whole lot of mess, you know what I mean? I'm very pleased it was not like that, because I'd been able to set the groundwork for it prior, and I think that adds legitimacy to a plan, and if everyone can keep quiet on a plan for more than 24 hours at this point, because this tribe just loves chaos so much, if that happens, then a plan is surely to go ahead, because that is such a rarity. The fact that people can't keep their mouths shut for like 20 minutes is astounding in this game. So the fact that we were able to align 5 of us to vote against Beck, who is a big target, known to be a huge dog, and had a hidden immunity idol, like all 3 of those things together, and the fact that we were able to actually like align and make everything work with this makeshift coalition, I'm like really happy with it, and I'm happy for the future, because looking into the future, my relationships have certainly shifted. I mean, when I first started this game, I was aligned with Beck and Miles, and that quickly disintegrated. But it disintegrated to the point where I never knew that Beck had an idol, for example. Whereas Beck and I continued to continually talk too. I think it's a testament to how good of a player Beck is, because I know that he has it in him to just go on a huge immunity run, and I really don't vibe with that at all. So the longer we can keep that out of the way, the better. But I'm aware that the likes of Exus and Chi-Chi and Matt, they all have it in them as well to make such big moves, so that worries me too. But anyway, looking at the game from a whole, because this whole confessional has been kind of rambly, but going into the future, I hope that Chi-Chi and Exus are the next 2 targets. I'm worried that Chi-Chi is going to slip in somehow. I can just see that happening. I would much rather that Matt be the person from this, like in the new minority, that survives. I was the person that did that in the first kind of coalition that formed, and I think Matt fits the bill for the second, because we both feel the same way about people in the jury. Mushu and I had that intense connection. Now that Beck had that connection with so many people as well, it kind of eliminates the threat level that I was worried about originally, where if you have too many allies on the jury, people are going to see that you're a jury threat. And even though I haven't played the most masterful game, I'm aware that I am becoming a jury threat, and that's a worry to me. So the fact that Beck is now on the jury, I'm unsure whether he's going to plead for me or against me, but I hope that Mushu and Bree can turn Beck onto my side before Beck ends up becoming, having a mind of his own, I suppose, so that when the next person goes into the jury, that the sentiments that Beck has against me are washed away, and they can all continue this course of brainwashing the jury in my favor. So yeah, looking into the future, the next two people I want eliminated are Chi-Chi and Exis. I don't mind the order. However, it really does interest me as well to start thinking about betraying Manly or Zeke. I've never actually said that in person, like out loud, but it's something I've been thinking about for a hot minute now, because I realize that I think I can win this game against Jello and pretty much no one else right now. But the thing is, I think that if I am able to finesse my way and eliminate Manly and Zeke on the way, or Yawley as well, honestly, depending on who does what at what juncture, I think that I could really make the most out of my shitty situation. Also, that's the last time I'll swear. I've said the S word twice in this confessional, so I assume it's good for the VL, but if you're not seeing this viewer lounge, then I'm sorry. I just swear a lot and it's who I am. I just say it and then I realize, and then I can't post something to the viewer lounge. But I post these videos like every 2 days. Anyway. So where was I? Oh, yes. So Exis and Chi-Chi need to go. Maybe then I will weaponize Matt to get rid of the likes of Manly and Zeke. I could honestly see myself, Yawley, and Chi-Chi coming back together for 1 or 2 votes in the final 7. So yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit worried about Zeke as well, because I realize that he does have that 2-vote negator, and the longer he gets through the game with a known advantage that no one is targeting, that worries me. And so, yeah. Looking into the future, if Exis goes home in this next vote like I hope, that would be the ideal scenario, because I think Exis has the other idol, and I want to eliminate all the big threats like that. And I think Exis is pretty well connected too, because if Exis went home, I think that Jello would be closer to me, and so that would be a good thing. So yeah, I've been playing off my relationship with Jello, but the only way that I'm going to get into her is, into them, sorry, that's really bad of me. The only way that I can get into Jello is by eliminating the likes of Exis and Matt, because in that way, I can, limit their numbers, and limit their options, because by doing that, I'll have a better chance of getting to the end. But yeah, right now I need to build my resume. I'm not into building resumes. I don't subscribe to the concept, but when it comes to thinking about and processing the game, the fact that this game is happening at lightning speed, kind of, I don't dig it at all, but it leaves no time to process literally anything. It's just go, 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 go. So hopefully, all things considered, this new group of 5 will be a bit of stability, and we can eliminate Exis, perhaps. We'll see how that goes. But then in the future, I have bigger plans as well. But we'll see how it all goes. Obviously, it's all just up in the air right now, and I honestly could be regretting everything I've been saying, and I could be switching it up this round again. So I don't know if the last 13 minutes of content that you've just watched are worth your time, because this entire video confessional might be irrelevant within 48 hours. Final thoughts for this kind of confessional before I do another one tomorrow or the next day. It is sad that Mushu has gone home, because I know he would have loved this challenge. We have to look at a Mulan video clip and then answer quick questions about that clip. Whoever answers the most questions in the fastest time will win. It's first done on, the tiebreaker will be timing. It's first done on how many you get. But yeah, the fact that Mushu is in the video, in theory, or at least his mascot is, and he's not here to do it, I feel like I'm playing for Mushu. But yeah, there are a few players now that I'm playing for. Ultimately, I know deep down that the player I am most playing for is myself, and I have no qualms cutting anyone to get to the end, But yeah, as of right now, I'm looking up. I'm never going to lose hope or lose sight of the finish line. I just know I need to play my cards right in order to get there successfully. Okay, that's pretty much it from me. I need to drink some water because my mouth is really dry. Okay.